Sorry about that. Alright, I'd like to talk a little bit about the movie Public Enemies, starring Johnny Depp and Christian Bale. This movie disappointed me. It had a lot of potential, but it didn't deliver. However, I differ from pretty much any other reviewer that I've heard so far. Most of the complaints that I've heard have been about there not being enough psychological delving in this film. And there are also, complaints about how it doesn't explain enough why John Dillinger was liked by the people. That's not what bothered me. The reason that doesn't bother me is because, in light of the historical context, those things aren't necessary. He was a bank robber in the time of the Great Depression, a time when there were no jobs to be had and no money to be gained. So why did he do what he did? He did what he did because he couldn't get money otherwise. And he did what he did because he was good at it. That's enough of an explanation. I mean, in light of the historical context, that's enough. As far as why people liked him, well, once again, historical context makes that easy. If the good guys fail you, in this case the government or, the police, then who do you look to? You look for the people who don't fail. You look to the strong, especially in America. I mean, that's even more prevalent in America. Just the whole concept of, we look towards the strong as our... it's the concept of survival of the fittest. It's so ingrained that, it's easy to surmise that these people, look at this man who is defying successfully these entities who have failed them, like I said, the government and the police, and they see a hero in that person. It makes sense. It's like Robin Hood. The thing that I didn't like about the film was the cinematography. It was probably the worst cinematography I have ever seen in my life. It looked like some 8-year-old was just running around with a camera. They were trying so desperately to be edgy, but in doing that, not only did they make it just look like poorly shot material, but they also took away from the acting. Some people have complained about the acting. The acting wasn't bad. The problem was, people were so subconsciously focused on just the obtuse and weird and shoddy filmmaking that it was distracting them from the acting. And so since, they weren't mesmerized by the acting because they're too focused on other things, they just assume that the acting is bad. That's not the case. The acting was fine. It was the editing and the cinematography that made it really hard to pay attention to the actors. And if you can't pay attention to the actors, then your film is screwed. It's over. It's ruined. The actors need be the center. Everything else needs to bring attention to them, or attention to something that will help drive the plot. And there were a few
just stupid and blatant continuity errors that really bugged me as well. It just looked... It looked and felt like the filmmaker didn't care about the film. It looked like he was just rushing through, trying to rush the production to get it out. Instead of really making it his project, really making it his baby, and actually caring for it. It bothered me a lot, because it could have been a very good film. I don't know. I would still suggest seeing it. It's not bad, but cinematography is terrible.